It was important to research all the science that we're exploring in Transcendence. And I went very early on to a number of different university professors in the field of neurosciences, in computer sciences, as well as nanotechnology and cancer research as well. So I made trips to Boston and spoke to professors at MIT. Then I went to Northern California and spoke to professors at Stanford, at Berkeley, and then also a couple of professors at Caltech here in Los Angeles. So I spent about a year researching while working on the screenplay and kind of vetting all the science and all the scientific aspects of the film and getting opinions and critiques on the script and on specifics of the script. The main note on the look of the film was to have a duality to it, to where on one side it was very grounded and naturalistic, and that's represented in their home in Berkeley and at the university, and then the desert, the dry desert. And then this other side, which is high technology world of the machine that they create and the facility that they build 5 stories underground in this massive solar field. RIFT stands for Revolutionary Independence from Technology, and basically the group is an anti-technology group. They're somewhat loosely based on neo-Luddites, and they feel firmly that any advancement in technology could potentially lead to the demise of humankind. And it's a rather extreme view, but it is based on things that we can all relate to, the overwhelming sort of invasion of social media, of technology just sort of getting in the way. But of course, their greatest fear is the singularity. And the greatest fear of the members of RIFT is that this supercomputer is going to eventually take over the world and render humanity obsolete. After Will Castor is shot, Will and Evelyn make the decision to try to upload Will's brain to the supercomputer. This has never been done before. Evelyn gets the idea to do it based on the research that one of their predecessors has done with a monkey, and they make the decision that the only way, as Will is dying, to keep any part of him alive is to upload his brain to the supercomputer. They go about convincing Max Waters, who's very skeptical of it, that this is something that he should help them with, and it's the only way to keep part of Will Castor alive. I think as the power of computers becomes stronger and stronger, as computing speed increases exponentially, I think we're heading towards a technological singularity. And it's just a question of when it's going to happen, and at what point is a single computer going to be as powerful, as intelligent as every brain in the history of mankind. I think it's a fascinating concept, and I think what's more fascinating is the question of what will we do with this machine? What will happen when we have a computer that's more powerful, more intelligent than any brain, any collection of brains on the planet. I was very thrilled and fortunate to be able to work with Johnny Depp on the project. He brought something to it that I never imagined. And he brought something to his character I never imagined. And I think that one of the great things is for an audience seeing Johnny as Johnny. And we haven't seen him in a long time where he's not playing somebody else. He's playing a computer scientist in here, but Johnny's an intelligent man, so he does it very comfortably. And I think he's also got a warmth and a charisma that's undeniable that we see in the screen in the beginning of the movie, and is kind of key to the love story. Johnny's a joy to work with. He brings so much to it. As I said, his intellect, his moral positions work so well with the character in the film. And he's just a joy to work with as well. It's a very powerful, heavy difficult part to play. And Rebecca did a phenomenal job. I'd worked with her previously on The Prestige, and experienced firsthand what a terrific actress she is. And then we had wonderful conversations about the screenplay in advance of principal photography, where she really understood the character and found a way to connect with the character's journey in this kind of strange world that nobody's really experienced before. Nobody could figure out how to experience, but she cracked it. The wonderful national treasure Morgan Freeman is playing Joseph Taggart, and Morgan and I, of course, have done 4 or 5 movies together, and I've just always loved Morgan, and just such a wonderful, genuine, hilarious person. And so once again, the warmth that Morgan brings to the screen, I think immediately engages the audience, and was such a comfort factor on the set as well. Right from the outset, I planned on shooting this film on 35 millimeter anamorphic film, and really in an age when people are bragging about their 4K cameras, 35 millimeter anamorphic has to be scanned at 8K in order to get all the resolution on the screen. So even going to a digital intermediate, you're losing a lot of the resolution that's inherently part of this format. So we're also doing a film finish, with the exception of the visual effects that are going to be scanned in at 4K or 5.6K. And so that the hope is any shots that don't have visual effects will remain on the screen in that form that's effectively, 8K. And that, I think, will make a huge difference when we blow it up to IMAX. We're also releasing the film in IMAX, which I've done with the last 5 or 6 films. I think this is a little bit of science fiction, and it's a little bit of science future. Certainly, the notion of the singularity is very, very much nonfiction, and what they're doing with the Paul Allen Mouse Brain Project in mapping and creating an atlas of a mouse brain, and heading towards mapping and creating an atlas of the human brain is very much in the present day. So it won't be long before we have a working model of a human brain. And down the line, in terms of this picture being science fiction, certainly our nanotechnology is capable of creating robots out of humans. so that's where we take it to another level in terms of science fiction. So really, it is a hybrid, if you will, of science fiction and science future.